Significant.
Significant. Welcome to Significant Life, the podcast for women who want to live, lead, and serve from an anchored place. I'm your host, Janice Anderson, wife, mother of three, CEO, and lover of all things Jesus. I firmly believe that strong women need an even stronger support system. So whether you need to get it done or come undone, this is a place where you can do it all without second guessing who you are, disconnecting from those you love, or undervaluing your irreplaceable contribution to the world. Regardless of what you're facing, this I know for sure. You were created to live and enjoy a significant life. Let's dive into today's episode. Y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Significant Life Podcast. I'm your host, Janice Anderson, and today's episode is long awaited. Our guest today is my good sister friend, Robin May. Y'all know I ain't even introduced nobody like that. Robin's going to get us all the way together in as little bit of time as we have. She is just phenomenal. She's phenomenal. And the reason why I wanted her on the podcast, and I'm excited that she's going to be joining us later in the month for the masterclass, is because when it comes to relationships, just go ahead and look up the word relationships, and her picture is literally going to be right next to it in the dictionary, because her insight, her wisdom, and her love for relationships is unlike anybody that I've ever met. And so I'm excited about having her on the show. She definitely is going to come back again, but today we're going to try to contain her into this one little area. Probably not, to give us some insight and wisdom and just practical girlfriend conversation, because, girl, we need it. So get your pen, get your paper, get yourself in a headspace and get ready for today's episode. And I'm going to just bring to the microphone our guest for today, my girlfriend, Robin Monique May. Hey, girl, how are you?
Nice to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here, Robin. Man, Robin, I don't even know where to start. Let's just start, because I want to jump into a sister girl conversation, but I want everyone to know who you are. I didn't give you this formal introduction. I want you to introduce yourself, tell everyone how amazing you are, and I'm going to jump right in and tell whatever else I want to say.
Girl, so first of all, when you were talking in the beginning, you were like, when you look up the word relationship, my literal brain was like, no, my picture's not going to be, my literal brain's like, no. But yes, I literally, Janice, as you know, hey, everybody, I'm super excited to be here. Janice is my sister friend. She is one of the most, she talks about me being insightful, one of the most insightful, intentional, supportive women in my life. So I'm so grateful for you. But as you said, I literally, Janice, have committed my professional life to helping women and equipping couples. And when it comes to couples, I've literally committed my life to helping couples navigate the terrain of relationships. And as you know, that terrain can be a trip. It can be bumpy, it can be uphill, it can be rocky, it can be amazing, it can be exciting. But I give couples the tools to navigate it. And Janice, what I like to say is this. I have the tools, but just like anybody else, if I don't use the tools, my situation will be jacked up too. And so I share with you the tools because we are in this together. Because there are, you know what, I've already started. Let me just say this and I'll be quiet. Let me just say this and I'll be quiet. Okay. Let me go ahead and tell everybody one of my pet peeves. When I'm scrolling through Facebook or I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see people making statements as though they are fact or though they are principles, when it's really a preference, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. Because there are some principles that can help you have the type of relationship you truly want. But if you confuse principle and preference, it's going to have you jacked up. And so what I try to do is teach couples the principle, and then they can learn how to walk out that principle according to their preferences. But I'll stop there.
Okay. Well, excuse me. First of all, let's just go ahead and say this for everyone who's been tuning into the podcast. Just go back to episode number 6, and we talk about the difference between principle and preferences in relationships. So thank you, Robin. Thank you, Robin. And so I know, right? So listen, y'all, can y'all tell? This is going to be a juicy conversation. Robin didn't even tell y'all, but I'm going to tell you because I knew she wasn't going to say it. Robin is a licensed therapist and life coach. Robin, you forgot?
Yeah, I'm trained to do this. I'm not just talking what I heard, but go ahead.
She's a licensed therapist and life coach. And so one of the reasons why I wanted Robin to be on the show with us today is because she's not only going to give us her own experiences, she also gets to bring to us the experiences she's had working with tons of couples and women in this area of relationships. But not only is Robin a licensed therapist, a life coach, homegirl is married to her college sweetheart. Listen, boo. Okay. We'll talk about them in a minute. And they got 3 girls too, just like me. Robin really started this trend of having 3 daughters. I wasn't even trying to sign up for that.
Not just started the trend of having 3 daughters, but the nerve to have a baby after 40. I mean, my God.
And I was like, I used to think that I was like the type of person that I don't really copy trends. Robin will tell you we'll have conversations. I was like, yeah, that's how everybody else do, but I don't do that. Like, I don't go through none of the regular stuff that women go through. What? Then here I am, 3 girls, and then I had my 3rd baby over 40. Robin, I play too much.
Girl, you and me both. You and me both, honey. Because we see these people having, but see, the reason why you a trip, you got one that's grown, like real grown. And then you got one in preschool, so you're a real trip. At least mine are a little closer together.
Okay, Robin. Okay, wait. I love this. Okay, Robin, today, what I want to talk about is romance, from romance to roommate zone and all in between. And I titled that, and I thought about that when I thought about you, because Robin has traveled this journey with me when I was previously in a fire. So those of you who know me and been listening to the podcast for a little while, I've been married before. And in my previous relationship, I called that the fire. Robin was with me when I was in the fire, trying to figure out what I was going to do. I was getting burned up. She was helping me. And we were new friends at that time. Then when I decided to go ahead and be rescued from the fire, to make a bold decision, which was super duper scary, Robin was with me the entire time, so supportive, so loving, so caring, so empathetic and understanding. And she just gave me so much wisdom. When I wasn't studying nobody and trying to date no one on this planet, she was like, ma'am, you're 35. I don't care that I'm 35, Robin. She told me, you got kids, you're 35, you grown, what you doing? Like,
yeah.
And so then when I got back into dating, Robin, and you remember those people who I thought were the one?
We are both transparent, but I'm just going to be quiet because I don't know how far you're going to go. But just know
you can go as far as you want to go, because Robin,
let me tell you, I did not know dating Janice. When I met dating Janice, oh baby, dating Janice, oh baby.
Robin, remember when? Okay, so wait. Not only were people, quote unquote, the one, and they were not the one. I was a low-key wretched mess. Robin, remember?
Baby, let me just say this. This is how we're going to frame it. Once you decide you rocking with somebody, you rocking with them, baby. It don't matter. You are rocking with them. And so we're going to look at that as a strength. Now, let me just say this. I teach my coaching clients this concept called the strength sabotage. And the idea is the very thing that's a strength for you can also, when overused, sabotage you. So what we're going to say is you have a strength of loyalty. But baby, just like me, when that strength is overused, it sabotages you, honey.
Robin, I was a mess. So Okay, I know. Wait, y'all see, those of you who are watching the video, y'all can see these motions that Robin are making, because people would not know that side of me, Robin. Robin, you were shocked to see that side of me, but you handled it so well, because my loyalty was on a whole nother level. And I am the oldest of 5. I was born in the hood, and it did come out. in different moments and aspects. But I did come back, and Robin helped me. And one of the things she did for me, and I'm going to let you talk about the rest of the stuff because it's not about my stuff. But one of the things she did for me while I was dating is she held me to what I said was my standard, what I said was what I was believing God for in a relationship. And even though my head was in the clouds and I was all in love in the moment, she was very gentle. And she said, well, I'm not really sure if that's what was on the paper.
Absolutely. Because Janice, what somebody, if it's somebody that's not my person, I sip my water and I mind my business. But when you're my person, I'm going to say it. Now, I'm going to say it just like you said. So, friend, I'm going to do it just like that. But Janice, I want to go back to what you said, honey, when I decided to be rescued from the fire. Honey, that's a message in itself. Have you made the decision to be rescued from the fire? But I know you're going to preach it. Honey, that was
I
good.
forgot to tell y'all, Robin is also a preacher, and she's married to a pastor. So there's a lot going on. Yes, we've navigated many things, many titles, many new purposes, and and many resurfacing of old purposes, which is why I wanted her on this conversation with us. And I want to talk about Robin. One of the things that I have found in my journey of moving from fire to I ain't even ready for nothing else like this, to dating my husband. That was a whole another list of things that we needed to navigate.
Girl, from the fire to figuring it out to freedom.
Go ahead and do it, Robin. Go ahead. See this one. See, y'all see how it is.
Okay,
in that
going.
Journey, you've been pivotal in my life, and our relationship has just been exactly what I needed. That I didn't even know I need, because I wasn't even doing friends like that when we first met. But there are some things that you helped me to understand about me. And I want you to speak to the woman who is on this journey. She's on a journey right now. And we're going to get to her being in this romantic relationship. But it's hard for us to really focus on the romantic relationship if we're not in tune with the personal relationship. And so I just want you to talk about the woman who's on the journey. What would be something that you would say to her to help her to reframe her current situation, whether it's good, bad, or all the stuff in between? What would you say to her?
I would tell that woman to pray specifically for God to awaken your inner courage to tell yourself the truth about your situation. One of the things that I have found, Janice, you talked about the fact that I have had the privilege and the honor to be on the front row or backstage of the journey of so many people. And that privilege has expanded and enlightened my perspective. It's also given me some commonalities that are true to human behavior. And I want you to really hear what I'm saying. One of those commonalities I found is that as women in particular, we're moving so fast, we're wearing so many hats, we're juggling so many things, we're trying to get to some random place that we rarely take the time to just pause. This is my mantra, to pause and pay attention. What are we pausing and paying attention to? To our own journey, so that we can tell ourselves the truth about what's really happening, what we're really experiencing, what we're really feeling, and whether whatever this journey is, whether it is working for us. And I have found that the reason that we don't pause and pay attention, because it's scary to tell the truth.
Yes.
It's scary to say, wait a minute, I've been doing this. Y'all, whatever your this is, I'm just going to take a moment. I want you to fill in the blank of your this. I have been doing this for this long. It's all I've known. And so to be able to tell the truth that this ain't what I really want, this ain't really working for me, this isn't who I really want to be. To tell yourself the truth about that, it takes an inner courage, because now you have to you don't have to do anything. Now you come face to face with having to make a decision if you're going to do something about it. And it's one of the things, let me say this and I'll wrap up. One of the things I have found in working with women in particular is like we get into this proverbial tug of war, because for so long they've been holding up something to hide behind an excuse. This is what I've always done, and they're hiding behind it. And so they come to see me, and I start to poke holes in it and start trying to ask them to hand it to me. And now we're getting into a proverbial tug of war, because letting it go is scary. Now, hear me, if you're married, this doesn't mean in a relationship, I've discovered that this isn't working for me, or this is not what I want, so let me be out. No, I'm a woman of faith. I'm not telling you that. I'm saying, once you recognize something in this isn't working, that may mean something needs to change within you. You might need to show up differently. One of the things I say all the time is that passivity is just as dangerous as getting crunk. And so it might be needing to do something within you, but you got to start by telling the truth. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge.
That's good, Robin. That's good. That's good. There's so much I want to say to that. So much. Because for the woman, so that there are two things that came up for me while you were talking. Number one, some of us, we realize, whoa, I don't like this this ain't what I signed up for. This is not what I want. And the reality of it is, at some point, it was what you wanted.
Yes.
At some point, it was what you wanted, but you changed. And so I just want to stop right now and give everyone permission to change their mind. One of the things I love to say to women, because I've said it to me multiple times, is you have the right to change your mind. It doesn't mean that you are fickle. It doesn't mean that you're not trustworthy. It doesn't mean that you set somebody up for the okie doke and you did the switcheroo. It just means you simply changed your mind. When I'm talking to young girls, I have a significant life weekend for teens and moms. And when I'm in the room with the teens, one of the conversations I said is, I don't care if your clothes are all the way off. Do you hear me? You said yes, you was excited. And then you got there, you got scared. Your clothes are off. His clothes are off. You can put your clothes on. I do not care. You can change your mind. You have the right to change your mind. And it doesn't matter what he says. You have the right to change your mind. And I can say that to a teenage girl, because I remember when I didn't think I had the right to change my mind. I was like, I got to stick with this all the way to the end. And so in looking at the situation and saying, man, this is not what I wanted, even though at one point, this is not what I want now, even though it was at some point. Robin, here's my question.
Janice, even if it was at some point, it may be because of a limited understanding, a limited perspective. It might have been what you wanted because that's what somebody else wanted for you. And you just, and so recognizing that, because some people might say, girl, I knew from day one that this ain't what I wanted, but it's just what I thought I had to do. Mm-hmm. And so even if it's what you thought you wanted because of some ideal or idea from someone else. And Janice, what we got to remember, girl, even in my own marriage, what I thought was cute at 30 ain't cute at 47.
Robin.
What was okay when I was 27, it ain't okay at 47. Because I evolved and changed.
So that's what I want to talk about right there. Because one of the things I know about Robin. So Robin, when I hear Robin tell about the new grown-up stuff she's doing, it really blows my mind, because Robin don't be wanting to do grown-up stuff. She just chill. She's like, just give me a Snicker. Great.
Yes.
And I know you do like Snickers. And you also like vacation. How about that?
Yes, honey.
I mean, listen, you like Barnes and Noble, and listen, I want to go to Bali. But then there was a time, it was this Barnes and Noble was just it, baby.
That's
me, you, Barnes and Noble, and a Snicker, and a good coffee, and some Starbucks coffee. But I get that, because I remember when certain things were just good for me. And then we changed our mind. And so, Robin, I want you to help the woman. Speak to the woman who now realizes she's awakened. She's done the first step. She came face to face. Like, I got this mirror right here. She came face to face with her truth, and she acknowledged it for what it is. She's called it what it is. She got clear about her feelings. And now she recognizes that there is a change that is necessary that doesn't just involve her. What does she do? What would you say to her?
Well, first of all, even when you were talking about the fact that a woman has the right to change their mind, we do. Let's reiterate that. You have the right to, you can always course correct. If you have breath in your body, you have the right to change your mind. But this is the part that gets us stuck. We first have to recognize when it involves someone else that we can't always predict and we cannot control the other person's response to our changed mind.
Okay, I can't let you talk right now. I can't. Okay, so let me just talk right here. Robin. Okay, so let me help y'all. So y'all know Robin is my friend, and I be trying to respect the fact that she's a therapist and she see clients that pay her for the therapy that she be doing on me. But when I'm in a crisis, I call my friend and she use all her tools. She comes up friend, coach, therapist, all the things. And I remember there was a time in my life, and specifically in my marriage, where I was trying to be what I thought was the right thing. I wanted to be. Robin. I'm talking about in this marriage, y'all, this ain't even a fire. I'm talking about this marriage right here. I wanted to be the submissive, honorable woman of God to the man of God that I prayed for, that was in my dream, that is just amazing. Everyone thinks that, we should be the power couple. We're all the things. And Negro was getting on my last nerve. My heart was breaking. And so I was not enforcing boundaries. I just wasn't. I'm just being honest because I know somebody needs to hear this. I wasn't enforcing boundaries. I didn't know what that looked like. Because, for me, boundaries was I'm out. Peace. I'm gone. I'm ready. You done got on my last nerve. I'm out. Robin, I was like, I'm just going to wrap this up. I don't care what nobody says.
Because what he don't know is I'll leave.
So Robin was coaching me through this.
But he don't know is
I kept on saying that, Robin. Nobody don't know, but I kept on saying, I was like, because I'm about to get out of here. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care about no house. I don't call no kids, no nothing. Bye. Okay, come back, Janice. Mm-hmm. Well, when we were talking about that, and I was talking, and you were helping me to enforce boundaries and honor the boundaries that I was setting for myself. One of the things you said to me is this, and I will never forget it. And Janice, you have to be okay with whatever the consequences are.
Yes.
And then I had to.
We don't do that.
We don't, Robin. And I think what happens, people don't make moves because they're afraid of the consequences, or they make moves and get mad about the consequences. Boo. There are consequences to us making an action.
For every action, there's a reaction. So you asked me to speak to the woman. And so this is the reason why significant life is necessary. Because one of the realities is that God did not create us to live on Isolation Island. And so many of us are living in the silo of our own processing. We're living in the island of our own perspective. And we don't create room and space in our life for somebody to help us to think through, flesh out, process what we're feeling, what we're thinking, and what is going on inside of us. There is a theoretical principle, or I don't know how to describe it, called the Johari window. Just look it up, Johari, the Johari window. It's mind-blowing, because what the Johari window explains to us is that all of us have different aspects of who we are. And watch this, there's a part of you that you can't see, but others can. Again, there's a part of you that is known to everybody else, but you can't see it. And so when you live in the silo of your own world, you don't have anybody there to challenge what you have just decided is right. Let's use a silly example, Janice. Do you remember, this is just a silly example, but do you remember at one time, my middle name is Monique. Janice's sister's middle name is Monique. And I have a cousin whose middle name is, or her actual name is Monique. So I was talking to Janice one day and I was like, so do y'all call your sister Money? And she was like, what? Mm-hmm. I said, do y'all call your sister Money? And she was like, no, why would we do that? I said, because all Monique's nickname is Money. She was like, what? Because in my mind, The two Moniques I knew, me and my cousin, our nickname was Money. And so I just thought that was a given. I am so tickled by that.
Me
So,
too.
so why am I saying that? In my little limited mind, I'm over here thinking everybody's nickname is Money. So if I'm doing that with something that insignificant, what else am I doing that in my life? Where am I coming to some conclusions? Where am I coming to some facts that, if challenged, don't hold up?
That's good,
Why is this
Robin.
important? Why is this
That's
important? Because as you are deciding, you know what was working for me is no longer working for me, or as you're examining your life and you're looking at the reality, and you're like, wait a minute, something has to shift. We have to accept that shift that we are deciding to make, we cannot predict and we cannot control
yeah.
someone else's response to that shift. So, what do? You get in safe circles, significant life. You get in safe circles that are protected, where the best of you is what is the goal. Not petty circles, not um, reckless circles, not unwise circles, but you get in safe circles. And girl, you had to bring me back to talk about safe spaces, but you get in safe circles with someone or people who can help you process, communicate, explain what it is you're trying to do, so that when you present it to your spouse, when you present it to whoever, whatever relationship it is, you've already thought through and processed and be able to communicate it in a way that lands with them. You still can't predict or control, but you can communicate. Listen, this is what I always tell my clients, particularly my ladies. Listen, you can say something, but if it's presented on a jacked up platter, it ain't going to be heard. So what a safe space lets you do is figure out, how do I present this on a platter where it can be best received? Janice, you know, one of the things I've told you for years is, girl, you got to get a PhD in Maurice.
Yes.
You got to get a PhD in your man, because you got to know how I can say something, when to say something prayerfully. This is the time, this is not the time, so that it can be best received. But once you have gotten some assuredness, once you've got some clarity, when you've fleshed out that it is not just a momentary thing, you've fleshed out the principle of it, now you can present it to your spouse and recognize, wait a minute, baby. Okay, honey, we've been doing this for so long and it's really not working for me anymore. You know, I want to kind of talk about this. Safe spaces helps you flesh that out.
I love it. I love it, Robin. Robin, you done blessed me today. I love the fleshing out, because, you know, my mind works fast. I talk fast. My mind goes fast. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's boom. So, you know, and we are always learning. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we always joke, Robin, you know, you read the book today. You want to teach a book tonight. Not even tomorrow, just tonight. So, you know.
Girl, I'm so bad at it. I am so bad. I was literally listening to an Audible today, and I was like, I'm going to do a life class on that tonight.
And this in us, you know? And sometimes when we're presented with new information, we have this big aha, and it's like this, I got this revelation. I know, see, you know what? You done breached my boundaries. You just learned you had a boundary today, ma'am. Write it in your journal. Go to your safe space. I love that. And Robin really was one of the pivotal people who helped me to understand the significance of life and community, you know, and really showing up fully and not just being a sounding board for others, but allowing others to be there for me. And so, Robin, I just want to thank you for your time. I know that you are super duper busy. We're going to have you back on the show, but Robin is going to be walking us through from roommate to romance and out of the roommate zone on at our masterclass on April 30th. I'm so excited about that. So if you
listen, I cannot wait to talk about the roommate zone. Let me just say this, Janice.
What?
I have not met a couple, including my marriage. I'm going to put you on the blast, your marriage. I have not met a couple that has not been in, trying to get out, or headed into the roommate zone. It is something that we have to understand. We have to understand what are the indicators of the roommate zone. We have to understand what we do to get out of the roommate zone. I have not met a couple in my 15 years of helping couples navigate marriage that has not been impacted by the roommate zone.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Because see, you probably thinking that somebody out here thinking there's something wrong with them. Baby, we just trying not to live there, okay? Because we done visited.
We have visited, girl. I know I'm in the roommate zone. Let me tell you something. One of the indicators, let me tell you, now you got to know the indicators for your marriage.
Yes.
One of the indicators, 2 indicators for my marriage when we're in the roommate zone. When every evening I'm in one room and he's in another. Now again, that may not be the case for other couples, but for us, how we rock, if he's consistently in another room and I'm in another room in the evenings, that's an indicator. When my husband coughs and I'm ready to fight him, all he's doing is coughing.
Listen.
And I'm ready to fight him. Like, what's wrong with you? You need to get that in check. Oh, something's going on. So I know this. And so I can be attuned. Wait a minute, Robin, you're getting irritated. I can be attuned to the fact that we have stumbled into the roommate zone. I just want to help you get free. If you're in it, you can get out of it. And you can also protect your marriage from getting in it and staying in it.
I love it. I love it. Listen. Well, thank you, child. Listen, Robin, this has been so good. Ladies, listen to this over and over again. Watch it multiple times. Drop your questions if you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere where the video is. Drop your questions in the chat so we can go ahead and address. We can give Robin the questions in advance, and then head over to My Significant Life /masterclass and join us for the masterclass. Robin, thank you so much, sister. I love you so much, girl. You know, I love you. I love you. I know you got a lot going on. Any last words that you want to say to the ladies as you get out of here?
You know, Janice talked about me being a sounding board for her. She is definitely a sounding board for me. And I say that because if you are not connected, if you just happen to stumble upon this podcast, I want you to do whatever you can to connect with her. Having her in your life will be transformative. It will challenge you, it will stretch you, but it will also change you for the better. So if you just happen to stumble upon this, don't just stumble, stay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you, Robin. I'll see you soon. Ladies, bye-bye. Ladies, now, I know you heard Robin and I talk a lot about relationships and our connection. You can obviously tell that we've had a journey, a long journey. We got a history, relationships. I ain't even going to talk about that right now, but intimacy requires history. We'll talk about that later. But Robin and I are intimate friends. She sees me and I see her. We have a connection that was created and cultivated through a lot of good, tough stuff, unexpected life happening, but we were able to navigate that. And I want to say this, we didn't meet each other till we were full-grown adults. I was well into my 30s. We didn't go to college together. We didn't go to the same church. So it was a non-traditional meeting, and so we were grown, and we were not looking for friends. We were in the same space, but we were both open to the connection. If you want to learn how to do things like that, how to navigate life in relationship, in healthy covenant relationship, I want to invite you to join us for the Significant Life Masterclass that's coming up on April 30th. Head over to mysignificantlife.org /masterclass. If you're watching me live via video, I keep saying live via video. The video is not live, but if you're watching me via video, you'll see on the screen, you'll see a beautiful graphic there, and they'll let you know you can gain the tools to nurture, protect, and work through the messiness of all of the relationships in your life. We're not just talking about marriage and dating, but we're also going to talk about our relationships in business and our corporate relationships, our career relationships. Who are the people that we need on our squad? Pat Perkins is going to be there to join us. We're also, for those of us who are parents or maybe you're a caregiver, my good friend Christine St. Ville will be joining me. She's a mother of 3. She's homeschooling 3 of her children. She's married and they have a passionate marriage that is moving forward. And I love that. It's life-giving relationship. And she's running 2 profitable businesses. So if you want ladies to know how we do it, how we navigate the messiness of life, in community is how we do it. Honestly, head over to mysignificantlife.org/masterclass and join us. Make time to join us. I want to show you, I want to walk you. When you head over there, you're going to see, for those of you who are watching, you see me on the screen. You're going to see at the screen, you're going to see me, and you're going to see this Create and Cultivate Life-Giving Relationships. You'll see a video that tells you all about it, and then a little bit about those who are members of the Significant Life community, and then you'll go and you can register. Here's what I want to say. For those of you who are listening to today's episode, and you know, Janice, this is definitely where I need to be. I really need support in creating life-giving relationships and fine-tuning the relationships that are in my life. I really need help understanding what that looks like. I need the skills. What I want us to understand is we're not born with the skills to cultivate a relationship. These skills have to be learned and then worked and refined so that we can create this relationship. If you know that's where you need support, then first of all, hello, you're human. And I'm excited for you for being intentional about the connections in your life. I want to invite you to join us. And I want you to invite you to bring a girlfriend with you. Now, you'll register. For those of you who do register, mysignificantlife.org/masterclass, what you'll find out is once you register, you'll get the opportunity to bring a friend for free. So get a couple of your girlfriends, split the difference if you want to, but join us for the masterclass and you get to bring a girlfriend for free. It is my heart's desire to see as many women as possible walk in freedom in the area of their relationships and their connections, because I was a woman who was not free. I was called upon. I was often looked at for advice. I was the person who guided others in prayer. I was the go-to person in my circle, and I was not free. I didn't know how to allow people to show up for me. I didn't know how to change my mind and say, I don't really want to be here doing this thing. You know, in certain things, in certain situations I could, but when it came to the relationships where I loved people and they meant a lot to me, I wasn't sure how to share, this is no longer working. I didn't know how to do that. And I didn't know how to rebound well from mishaps. That's why I would just leave. Like, oh, I could forgive. The way I was set up, I could forgive others for their mistakes and misunderstandings. I struggled to forgive me. And because I struggled to forgive me for my misunderstandings, mistakes, missteps, I assumed that others would struggle and I would back out of the relationship. Somehow I would get busy. I would get to the place where I would ignore their calls, or, you know, I just would kind of fade away in the background. And in absence of learning who I am, acknowledging what I really want, and then getting the skills and the communal support to be able to walk that out, y'all, I would not have been the woman that is leading this journey now. So I want to invite you to join us. Thanks for listening to this episode. I'm just excited about what I get to do and what is possible for you once you engage in a life-giving relationship in every aspect of your life. Thanks for joining me for this episode. I'll see you next week for our final, I think it's our final episode in the series, Relationship Matters. Take care. Bye.